Let's see here how ChatGPT finds information to answer our own questions and how it can have reasonable results for us. So I gave him the following prompt. Answer the following question using the knowledge you have into my Neo4j. I'm writing a LinkedIn post about my consulting services. Give me 3 hook formulas with real examples from the knowledge base and explain the psychology behind why each one works. And we see here that ChatGPT used the cold tool, then to use it again, then it started a thinking process, and then it used another tool, and then he came back with another not expected from the most of us result. This information is a response created from the Neo4j knowledge base. What is it? Here we are. This is a graph database, which is just a database where we can store information like knowledge, which means we save different objects or concepts and we link with each other so we know what is the relationship between its concept. For example, here I've analyzed 26 YouTube videos about the branding and consulting services, and I wanted to track all of these elements. We see here I have already 2051 different nodes, unique nodes, and 7023 relationships. And all of these things are queryable and useful for the AI. So when we double click on that, we see how this information is expanded and what is the relationship with other concepts inside the same database. And this is how our brain also saves the information. It takes specific facts or happenings, new knowledge, split it into different pieces, and save them into dots. And it remembers the connection in those between these dots. The good thing with this database is that it's easier for AI to query into this database to find the answer into our questions. And this also can be used as a brain for our AI agents. So the agent can have a knowledge how to make decisions based on the knowledge we store in here. But let's see, how can we give access to ChatGPT into our knowledge base so we can use the ChatGPT interface to talk, answering our questions, and also asking to write, which means update or create new information into our knowledge base. Just a quick parenthesis here. For ChatGPT, the workflow is a little bit different than the Claude Code. In Claude Code, the entire process is really less technical. What we have to do is just a copy paste in the case of Claude Code into the settings of our Claude desktop app. Instead, for ChatGPT, what we have to do is number one step is to install the MCP server into our machine, which means our laptop or our PC has to run into Python. It sounds so technical, I know, but no worries, trust me, it's quite easy to do that. I've already prepared the workflow here we have to follow, and this is what we're gonna follow today. And the second step is to use Cloudflare, which is responsible to talk and build the connection between our machine with ChatGPT. So what happens is ChatGPT sends the message into Cloudflare and Cloudflare into our machine. Our machine speaks to Cloudflare and Cloudflare sends the information back to ChatGPT. So we have to do these two installations, and at the third step, we have to add this agent into the apps on ChatGPT. So let's get started. Before we start, I have to delete what I already have. So I have to open my command prompt here. here, and I have to uninstall the Cloudflare, which later on we're gonna install it together. It's just a copy paste from the guide. All right, successfully uninstalled. And the next action we have to do is to uninstall the MCP Neo4j cipher, which is actually the Neo4j. Why? Yeah, perfect. This is the Neo4j MCP server, the server that lives into our own machine. We're gonna install it together. And for this one, we can just come here into apps. I've already deleted it. We can find them into settings. Oh, I didn't delete it. Let's go to delete it. Delete. Let's refresh. Yeah, it's not here. Perfect. So here is the starting point for us. Let's go into the guide. Step number 1, we have to check for the Python version. So we go into our command prompt and we just paste this function. So we see here that the version Python 3.9.7 is not enough. We need at least 3.10. So we have to download it from here. Right into here. This is what we need, Windows installer, because we have Windows. If you are in Mac, you have to use this one. Right. It's downloaded. And we just right, next. Thank you for using Python. Perfect. It is installed. So if we go into our terminal and we kill it and we reopen it and we do the same action, here it is. The previous action gave us the wrong one, but in here we see the right one, 3.14. So we are ready to pass the first step. As I said, it's a little bit technical, the process, but we can handle it definitely. All right, we have it. Then we have to install the Neo4j MCP server. So we copy and paste it in here and let's see what's gonna happen. All right, we get an error. Perfect. Failed with the error because of this, so we have to use this thing. Right. Wonderful. So we just have the MCP server up and running. Great. And we can move into the step 4, which is to connect into the Neo4j server. To connect into the server, we need our credentials. For these credentials, there is another video showing how we get them. But these credentials, we get them immediately when we create a new instance. So when we create it, there is a document that is downloadable. and we have to save it in a secure place because the password into this document is not given again from the service. So we have to keep it somewhere in a safe place. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my own credentials here. I'm deleting this demo one and I'm going to find my own ones. I have them right here. That's the first one. I don't expect anything to happen. The second one is this one, which is the same. I use the same default name. For the password, here is a thing. And the password is this guy here for me. Copy. Perfect. And the database is this. All right. So again, we don't expect to see anything. The only problem we may have is to see the following error. Now we have to activate it. So we turn it on. Here's the right link. Into here, this is not correct. Perfect. And now this is what we want to see. Unicorn running on blah, 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 blah. And this is our local IP address. Okay, perfect. That was the first part. So we completed with the Neo4j server installing into our machine. So the next step is to go into the Cloudflare to do the communication between us and ChatGPT. Right. These are in case these things fail. We don't want to use Grok because instead of Cloudflare, we can use Grok, but I don't recommend it totally. I tested. So we have to use the Cloudflare. I'm gonna add a new command prompt. And missed the CMD. Okay, we have this version. That's great. So we have to install it because we don't see anything saying that Cloudflare is installed. And this action will install the Cloudflare into our machine. The thing we just uninstalled when we started the video. We have the message, yes, we accept it to do updates. All right, and it's successfully installed. Wonderful. And now we have to run this command line. Oops, sorry. Can you open again the document? right here. We're at 6 or 7 step. Here's the action we have to do. We keep the other terminal for the installation of MCP up and running. And now, oops. Oh, perfect. Now what's gonna happen is Cloudflare gave us an address. This is very important address. We have to keep it. We copy this address, and then we have to go back into ChatGPT, create an app. This is the last step. We installed the Neo4j MCP server into our PC. We created the Cloudflare connection, so we have a URL from which we can get into a conversation with Cloudflare, and Cloudflare is responsible to transfer the information to ChatGPT. We can give it a name. I will say it Neo4j branding advisors. Give it any description. Here is just for you. Here is the important thing. Into this URL, which by the way, this URL is updated very often, so you have to run it again, this process. At the end, we have to add MCP and slash, because this is the path for it. We have to turn without authentication, and then we go and create it. And we wait. And what this action will do, it will create an app inside ChatGPT that will have a communication with Cloudflare from this URL. And every time we call this URL, what's going to happen? Our server is talking. And as you can see, it talked. You see, these are the messages from our server that, okay, we had the communication. Perfect. And this is installed. Perfect. So we completed the third step also, and it's time to go and use it. How we do it? First of all, it is important to be on the developer mode. How we do it from the settings? We see here from the apps, we just turn it on, and ideally we refresh the page. Then after that, we can see it being listed. And by the way, the developer mode is important also to have access into the list of apps. And I'm gonna tell him to using the MCP server, answer me the following question. I'm launching a new service next week. Based on the knowledge base, give me a step-by-step strategy to make my offer irresistible and build trust with cold prospects who've never heard of me. Nice. Let's delete it. This was copy and paste it. And let's see what's gonna expect. It started thinking. It understood that it doesn't have to use its own global knowledge base, but instead it has to query our knowledge. We can see that here. And what we see here, this is the cipher language, and this is automatically generated from our machine here. Our own server is doing the communication. He is responsible to talk. And here is a nice point, that whenever we want to use it into ChatGPT, what we have to do is to repeat those actions. We have to turn on the terminal and give the credentials to log in. All right. And in another terminal, we have to activate the Cloudflare action, what we did right here. So it will give us a new URL. And then this is important to go
and running. The Cloudflare action actually, it will stop working when the URL is deleted from Cloudflare. Usually this is updated almost every day or every couple of days. So you're gonna find it. I know this entire process is quite technical. It looks very technical, but the thing is, we can avoid it with just copy pastes. All right, here is step by step. Nice. Start with symptoms, not services. Rewrite your positioning to describe what you're experiencing day by day. Frustration, bottlenecks, we tried X and didn't work, and so on. Perfect. Build a prospect pathway. All of this information are ideas coming from the nodes base. This is what it gave us reasonable results. And here we can see exactly which information did it use. All of this information. It's perfect. Great. And this is how we use the Neo4j MCP server into ChatGPT. The installation requires a couple of steps, and the reactivation requires another step with command prompt, but that's fine. It's not that hard. It's not that difficult to be done. And we just go on. Feel free to select between Claude and ChatGPT, whatever it works for you and whatever matters for you guys. What is your most preferred LLM? This is what I recommend you to go and use it. And if it works, just keep it. Let me know for your questions.